Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on my Redstone Let's Build world. It is episode 5, and we are of course in the Evil Science Lab. Where else will we be? And it's actually been a while since I've been on here, and this is just as interesting for me as it is for you. I'm taking a look around and I'm like, oh, I remember building that, oh, I remember doing this. And one thing that I should quickly mention is that yes, the clock for the universal dead clock is actually off. And that is because it was causing quite a lot of lag in terms of lighting updates and things. But yes, in the last episode, if you did miss it, we did all of the things that you can see in front of you here. And we actually did a ton of stuff. We did all of these dashes and dials. We did the suicide button, our self-destruct, which is what we are going to be working on a little bit further in today's episode. I don't know when, but we are going to be doing a bit of that. And also we did all of this stuff for our nuclear reactors. These are all the different like sort of control areas. So this is to turn off all of our water. We have got our control rods there. What else do we have? We have got, what were these things? I can't remember what those did. Oh, that's our charger. Yeah, that's what it was. So the minute it is charging up, but when you flick it off, it charges down because obviously we're using the power. And then we have dismantle the core. I don't really know what that does, but I thought it looked fairly cool. But one thing that I have noticed is that we actually need to put in all of this glass because at the minute we are receiving a fairly unhealthy dose of radiation. So I'll quickly do that and then we will continue. That's all done now, nice and quick, easy job there, and really I am extremely happy with this little build. Our control rods popping up there. These things are so silly, I don't really understand, like the control rods, they definitely don't look like that in real life, but that was the best way that I could think about doing them. But definitely the cooling system is one of my favourite features of this build. I don't know why, something about that just really does get me excited. But the first thing that we have got to do in this episode, and there isn't really a list of priorities here, because I personally feel like we are coming towards the end of this Redstone Let's Build series. I feel like we have done pretty well with the science lab and it is almost ready to go up for download. But what we have to do is, this would not be a scientific testing facility if we weren't testing on some form of rat. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a sort of rat station, an area in which we keep all of our rats in the form of silverfish. And yeah, it should be a really cool thing to do because we'll have them all up in cages and it should look pretty good. So I'm going to clear out an area back here and we will get to work. I have no idea how well this is going to come across, but what I am trying to do here is, instead of having just walls of iron bars with tons of the rats in, I'm trying to make it look like all of the cages are separate. Like, you know, the little box cages that you get. You often see them in horror films and things. It's always the evil person that has like a disgusting area in which he keeps all the body parts in cages for some reason. But yeah, that is the sort of thing that I'm going for here. So as you can see, I've got the stone bricks and the half slabs. I don't go for the whites and the pristines. This is sort of like the dark area, the disgusting underbelly of our evil science lab. Because if you just take a look at this from the front of it, I mean, first off, it's clearly an extremely talented scientist because he's managed to clone all these sheep. He's got a universe death clock, which suggests he has quite a lot of knowledge, and also, well, he seems to have tamed a lot of iron golems. So he's clearly quite a good guy, this one. But then if we head through into here, we can see that actually he isn't that nice. Now, I know I am probably thinking far too much into this one, and you're all sat at home probably thinking this guy's a bit sad, but I really am just trying to get into the mind of this one so I can build a decent looking evil science lab. But I hope that is coming across, and I'm going to keep placing down all these cages. I just realised that I have been a wee bit silly. I've built this whole room out of stone, and the specialist ability of a silverfish is the fact that it can actually get into the walls. So yeah, we aren't going to be using silverfish. Instead, I was thinking perhaps we should use ocelots. They seem to be fairly good at being caught by various evil science groups. I don't know, I have absolutely no idea what evil scientists would like to use. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to rename them because I believe that will stop them from despawning. At least that is my plan. So we're going to rename it Test Subject, and voila, we have got ourselves the spawn egg for that one. And then we're quite simply going to place it down in a bunch of these cages here. So there's one test subject, and there's a second one. And then we place the roof back on, and we'll do the same thing for each one of these. And we will grab ourselves a whole bunch of various test subjects to have in here. Now, as far as the room itself is concerned, I know it is far from a work of art. It really isn't that good looking, but it certainly does perform the duty. It looks about right. There's cobwebs and there's cages. What more could you want? Now that that is all done, the room is what I would consider to be complete, and as I just mentioned, it is nowhere near a work of art, but it is certainly something, a nice little detail that you will be able to check out once you download the world, when I finally end up releasing that thing. And I just realised that these guys are going to be breeding. Oh lord, there are going to be a lot more ocelots in this room than I had first expected, but oh well, we shall see. It could be like a little experiment to see how many little ocelots can be spawned from this bunch here. But now on to our next project today, and I am sure most of you are going to like it. It involves TNT, like all good projects do. We are going to be working on the self-destruct button. So yesterday, well, in the last episode even, we did a bit of work on our safety mechanism here to stop any old fellow turning up and pressing it by accident. So we actually have to activate it, and then we have access to the button, which will be wired up to some TNT. So what I'm going to do is get my redstone boots on, and we'll get to work on this one. I don't know how much of this you can see because it is fairly dark, and whoa, we do not want people like this guy around. Please don't blow up. Oh, don't blow up. Oh my lord. I have done a backup of the world, so we shouldn't be in too much trouble here. But if you take a look, all of these blocks are over here. They have all got TNT underneath them, and if we actually go through, you can see this is just right above our science lab. So as you can imagine, I'm a little bit titchy when it comes to creepers and things, but anyway, I'll just replace all of these blocks because now we are going to be wiring this up to our little redstone circuit that we have going on over here. And I'm going to try and do my best to light this up so that you can't just get complete blackness in the video, because you don't want to be seeing that. So this is our little switch that we have down here. Our little self-destruct button that we've got, which is pretty aptly named, can't even say that word, because it will do what it says on the tin. It will completely self-destruct, and like I say, every evil science lab has to have some form of self-destruct button so that the hero can come along and blow it all up. It's just how it works, and you just can't have an evil science lab without one. So what we need to do is we need to run this line of redstone upwards into our redstone area, and that shouldn't be too difficult whatsoever. Just need to get all of my resources together. Hopefully we will get the redstone, the TNT off of our hotbar there, because otherwise we might end up blowing it up by accident. But what I want to do is I'm going to add in a bit of a delay here so we have some nice suspense when we hit that button. Is it going to work? Is it not? And then boom, of course it is going to work. At least that is the plan. So then we just need to run this redstone line along here, and I believe off in this direction. Now, we do not need to place redstone on top of all of this, because I'm hoping that we will manage to get some kind of crazy chain reaction going on. But just to keep it safe, we are going to place a bunch of redstone pretty much everywhere. So we're going to have to run some of this off like this, and then I guess we should grab some repeaters and run them along a bit, and then some more redstone, just so that we get like a nice equal ignition. We'll do it again over here, and perhaps we should just add some repeaters going off onto this side as well, because we don't want only one side blowing up. I think that'll be pretty rubbish if that's all that's happened. So yeah, we'll just run it across here, and I have noticed that yes, we have broken out into the normal environment. Don't worry, I will do something about that in a second, but I am just going to keep placing down all of this redstone. It really shouldn't take too long, because like I say, I don't have to cover the entire floor. We just want to make sure that a good number of TNT ignite so that they can set the rest of the room off. At least that is the plan, and that should end up in a fairly decent sized explosion, to say the least. I would say that now we're going to do a test run. We're going to give it a go and see what happens, but we are not going to be doing that because I have to give you some reason to download the world, and obviously blowing it all up is generally a pretty good reason to download it. But as I showed earlier, yes, we have got most of the redstone in place. We are sort of alternating every 2 or 3 blocks here, and that should give a very good spread in terms of blowing everything up. I don't know how much of this redstone is actually going to get used, because generally TNT chain reactions are pretty good, especially if they are all exactly next to each other, but it is always helpful to have something like this in place. But anyway, now what we are going to do is we're going to do the room on the other side of the lab. I'm going to try and get down there now. It doesn't look like I've left myself an exit, so we'll do a little bit of ghetto breaking of blocks. Oh, I'm making a right hash of this. Right, there we go. Now we're out here and we can cover up all of our redstone area, hopefully without activating something that we don't want to do, because that could be very bad. But anyway, oh, fingers crossed this doesn't by accident sort of go into something else. Otherwise you'll see this will go up in flames. But yes, what we are going to do is we need to do a room on the other side here, because obviously we have this room, this is for all our cages, and then this one, I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but what I'm going to do is I am going to clear out the space first, so that we have a good idea of how big this area is going to be, and what we could possibly do with it. In this room, we're going to be doing the cryogenic freezing of villagers. Now, I don't know if you know what this is. I personally don't really know what cryogenic freezing involves. All I know is that it was in Futurama, and Fry basically gets frozen and then sent into the future. It's like the first episode, and I always seem to see it. Whenever I watch Futurama, the first episode seems to be the one that is on. But anyway, what we're going to try and do here, and hopefully this works. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we are going to push a bunch of ice blocks onto a villager, and in my head this should be fine, because these two ice blocks, they are definitely transparent blocks, as you can quite clearly see. So let's give it a go. We need to place down our regular pistons here, and what these are going to do is these are going to place the blocks, or push the blocks along, so that they are on top of the villager, and because the villager can't move anywhere, it should in theory get stuck inside the block, and then thus, oh, you sneaky devil, you, how did you get out of there? Cool, someone's been on a diet. Yeah, you just go back in there. Oh, I haven't thought it through in the slightest. Alright, well, we'll fix this up quite quickly. I was going to say, I didn't think they could get through there. So we'll plonk him back down again. Sneaky little devil. And we need our button here. Just like that. We've got our villager, so when we hit this button... No, why is he taking damage? I don't understand. That is a transparent block. Have they changed it? Have they changed the way that ice works? I remember they did that recently. Let's try it out again, but this time with glass. If it works with glass, I don't know, the effect won't quite be the same, which is going to be a right old shame, I have to admit. Let's place down our villager once again, and I don't know if he's fully in the block or not, but he seems to be okay. Yeah, he's not taking any damage. What other blocks could we use as cryogenic fluid? Perhaps we could use the new slime blocks. That could be quite good. Whereabouts are they? They're here. See, to me, this looks like a transparent block, so you shouldn't suffocate in this. But who knows? Who knows nowadays? I always thought that ice was a transparent block. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they've changed things a little bit. Right, well, I'm going to have to take a look into this, and we shall see what we will do. I have come up with a solution to our problem, and that is using blue stained glass. Doesn't this look really awesome? I am very happy with the outcome here. In fact, I would almost argue that it looks better than using ice. Not quite better, because obviously when you're using ice, you're using ice, and we are meant to be freezing them, but this is just as good, so I'll quickly show you how to do it. I know you probably got the idea earlier on, but anyway, what we need is our 2 blocks of stained glass there, and then you plonk your villager down in the middle here, and he can't hop out because he's got this half slab up like this, and then quite simply you place down your 2 pistons and your button. You get your half slab at the ready because these guys are quick, and you press your button and then plonk the half slab down at the bottom, remove all the evidence that you did all that, and voila, you have got yourself a villager frozen in ice. And I really do like this room. I mean, seriously, it might be one of my favourites in the entire build. I mean, sure, this whole room is pretty awesome, and also, obviously, our nuclear reactor back there is really, really cool as well. But I think creativity and almost silliness like that really does make up a good Minecraft world. But what I want to know, because we are coming to the end of this episode now, is do you want me to continue this series on past the next episode? The next episode is going to be finishing up. We've got to do the exit and probably a bunch of other things, getting it ready for the world download and the showcase video. So that is the plan. But do you want it to continue on after that, where we add even more stuff, perhaps a few more rooms and other science labby bits? Or do you want me to call it a day and do the showcase video in 2 weeks' time? I don't know. I am completely open to all suggestion. I know that after I've finished this science lab, I've got a really cool idea for the next Redstone Let's Build series, because I'm not going to be stopping it here. I've got an idea for the next Redstone Let's Build series, and we will crack on with that straight after this one is finished. We'll just keep the ball rolling. So if you want to see that one, then please let me know in the comment section. But also, if you want to see this one keep on going, then also let me know in the comment section, and also on my Twitter at @ThatMumboJumbo. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.